Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is, very important information. Back in the 60s, they had these problems with this satellite shit before. That's why it was outlawed in the 60s, because the government was damaging people's teeth, burning people's bones, injuring people with their illegal political regime of government, like around the 60s, late 60s and 70s. Political parties trying to murder off landowners and business owners, and government trying to steal property, and government people trying to claim that they thought they had a right stealing from people because they got elected for 4 years in government and they were stealing lives and land and property from people. These government agents in American government and their political CIA or whoever they are. What they had to do to stop them, they had to organize like law enforcement nationwide, and they had to prosecute and to arrest these satellite controllers on a mass number. Like there's like several satellite controllers. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but they're in violation of law in Indiana, that's for sure. And what they had to do is they had to send out groups of men that would track down satellite controllers. And that's what they had to do back in the 60s, and they had to do mass arrests. Like they had to arrest numerous people, hundreds of people, back in the 60s in reference to satellite mutilations, and the 70s. Because dirty government thought that their people think that when they get into politics, whoever they are, they think that they could just rip away people's lives just because they got elected as a politician or something. And you say, hey, wait a minute. You got elected for 4 years and yet you're stealing a lifetime of wealth, trying to steal people's life savings, trying to steal people's revenues, trying to steal people's money, trying to skim off of people's lives. Who are you? You don't have a legal right. Trying to steal people's estates, government man, you don't have a legal right. You won't ever have a legal right. Mutilating people's teeth, you don't own people's teeth. You don't have a right messing with people's teeth, or their faces, or their genitals, or their anatomies, government man. Your satellite shit, no you don't. You're trying to fuck mouth everybody's teeth. You're trying to shit mouth everybody's teeth, government man. You don't have no legal right. You won't ever have no legal right. But anyways, back to the 60s and 70s, they had to orchestrate they had to organize hundreds of law enforcement agents to surround these people's illegal locations in government to stop their illegal satellites. They had to arrest their government agents when they were out shopping. They had to arrest them when they were out eating at restaurants. They had to arrest them anywhere that they were. These government satellite controllers back in the 60s and 70s. They had to do that back then because they wouldn't stop. They tried to steal land is what these government people tried to do. They tried to steal people's identities back then. They tried to forge documents with their illegal invasion of America. They claimed that they bought things that weren't for sale. That's what these government agents tried to do. They were fucking up people's teeth. They were fucking up people's faces. They were trying to steal things. Like there's a lot of older movies back in the 60s and 70s that talk about, like, the movie Face Off. Different premise of things, but there was people trying to play games of stealing people's faces. There's some older movies. You can see some of them at the libraries too. The Indianapolis Library had a few of them. Movies about government stealing people's identities, government people stealing people's faces, government damaging their teeth, damaging their looks. But what they had to do in America back then was they had to organize hundreds of law enforcement people. And they had to go to different places, and military people had to go after these other bad military or bad government people, whoever they were, that was doing these things. Such as branches of the government that was orchestrated by illegal German military plans in America, or whatever organized criminal activity of these dirty politicians. where they tried to steal people's identity and people's land in America. It's very serious. But that's one of the things they had to do. They had to organize, hundreds or even probably over 1,000 plus people that would go to these places to find out where they were using these satellites from. And they had to arrest every single one of their people. They had to arrest thousands of people or something. And that's one of the ways they got these people for their crimes. These government agents, they'd find out what location that satellite was coming from, what government agents was using it, and then when they were in their satellite location, they'd just arrest everybody that came out, no matter who they were, in reference to, government activities. Wasn't anybody from my mother or father or my family history, these satellite controllers. We don't believe in that shit. My parents didn't believe in that shit either. In reference to my family history, my parents made businesses, built companies, made products, and restaurants, and gas stations and other things. These government people playing these games are stealing from people with their satellite tortures. They injure people. They tried to steal people's identities, these government agents. They don't have no legal right. It's illegal 100% what they're doing. They've been trying to hurt people's teeth, trying to call them junkies, trying to claim that they thought they were better than people, that they were injuring these government people, trying to steal property and land. They won't ever have no legal right. And people have been getting abused by these satellite controllers, and these satellite controllers have pretended like they thought they had some right, fucking up people's teeth to make themselves feel better. Those people don't have no legal right. Those people trying to steal my identity, people trying to cover up that they stole from my family. They don't have no legal right what they've done. Their people need to get prosecuted for their crimes. But that's one of the things that has to be done. They have to organize and track down all the satellite locations that these people are using. Then they got to arrest them, get their hands off those satellite buttons. That's what they have to do. Otherwise, they're going to keep injuring people, and, they don't have no legal right. And population in America, it's going to grow just like everywhere else. But these people tried to invade the country and tried to steal other people's wealth and other people's property and other people's finances. These government people, population grows as it grows, But in reference to government people trying to steal people's identity and people's wealth and people's land, you don't have no right trying to murder landowners, government man. The future of the country is not any legal right of government or any person to be murdering off landowners or business owners or people that are wealthy or people that are in high-ranking business positions. It's not out with the old and in with the new of business. You don't have a right trying to steal chairs in people's businesses. You don't have a right skimming off of people's revenues. Companies and businesses are not responsible for political wages in this country. No, they are not. People in this country are not responsible for funding the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, or task force agents, or anything like that. They're not responsible. That's government monies. Government has to print monies to employ their people. But in reference to regimes of there being too many of their types of people in one type of branch of government, and they're just accusating against people, and they're terrorizing people and messing up people's teeth and their looks, it's a violation of the law. And don't forget, I was born with a different status than a common person. And all you government people trying to damage my looks or trying to steal my wealth or family history, you got to go to prison, government man. Your forgeries have caused a lot of problems, government man. Your lies and your tricks claiming you thought you built this country when you didn't build this country, government man. And neither did your people. And you don't have a right trying to steal America, claiming that you thought you built America. Your government agents thinking you thought that you would try to criticize business people from being rich or for being rich. You don't have a legal right. You don't have a right stealing what you want to get from people. You don't have a right taking what you want to get from somebody. That ain't how it works in this country. And your government people stealing from me, your government people damaging my face or damaging my teeth, you have to be prosecuted. Because you didn't stop. You've done it since I woke up today from taking a nap. You didn't stop. You're burning right here. You think you own people's faces, government man? I'm not your race or religion, government man. I'm Catholic and Jewish, and you are not. And you're trying to damage my face and my teeth? Your government agent has to get prosecuted, government man. You're violating segregation of wealth and class and race and religion and friendliness. You know, segregation in reference to a lot of things, in reference to people being friendly, or, you know, people having circles of friends, or people having friends of different races or religions that are friendly. And, you know, people have all kinds of different friends a lot of times. And the German Christians coming into this country trying to disorganize people's friendliness, or trying to disorganize people's lives among their friends, or, you know, people they've known for years, or people that they knew in Hollywood, like people in Hollywood have known who I am. Royal Protocol's in the media, of course, in reference to my identity. So they know who I am, of course. They have to. It's a requirement. Same thing in reference to other things and other businesses that I'm the owner of, in reference to my mother and father's estates and my trust funds. I'm the owner forever. Never signed, never gave, never sold, never, not never. And anybody sitting there trying to antagonize or trying to make up long years of their lies, trying to claim they thought they would be the owner of something that I was the owner of, no, those people have to get prosecuted. Never signed, never gave, never sold, never. And people trying to say something like, oh, they thought you'd give up something. No. They've tried to say that before. They thought torturing me, they thought I would give away things. No. That's extortion. That is an international crime of government. No matter what race you are trying to torture me, trying to steal from me, government man, you don't have no legal right. And you must be impeached if you're in politics, or if you're in government, or any other position. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. I'm the owner of the companies. You're not. You're not in line for anything, government man. Not never. Royal Protocol is forever. It's a documentation of my ownership, too. That I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates forever. You don't have a right trying to steal my teeth. You don't have no right trying to damage my face. You ain't got no right blocking my teeth from healing. You don't have no legal right touching me. That's why you people tried to use satellites. Because you thought using a satellite nobody would know it was your people doing it. When the activity of what you're doing is illegal 100%. You must be prosecuted for your crimes. You have no legal right doing what you're doing. You've never had no legal right doing what you're doing. And you need to get prosecuted for your crimes. Satellite number 25, 19, 12, 21, 26, 20. Number 01, 22, 24, number 5, number 18, and 01. That's a 31. Yeah. So the first 01 is a 31. The last number on the satellite tracking device is 01. Oh, and in reference to torture tracking, government man, spying on people's faces, terrorizing their bodies, blocking them from working at jobs and doing things like that, government man, is a crime. You're violating royal diplomatic immunity laws that are supposed to protect me. And satellite number 31 is doing something. Some of the other ones, sometimes they do things, but then they cover it up. And then number 20, like they'll jump on there to hit a person several times, and then they'll jump off sometimes with a satellite. Like they're sucker punching people all the fucking time from satellites, damaging their faces, damaging their teeth. And the U.S. government and the high-ranking politicians are pretending like they don't see that shit, don't they? They're pretending like they don't know nothing about it. They have to get impeached. Satellite abuse awareness in this country is extremely important. And it's important forever. Reference to criminal activity, government tracking people, government fabricating things on people. See, the government tries to track people with satellites to accuse them of things. They try to accuse people of their accusations with their satellite tracking and torturing of people. That is a crime, government man. It's attempted murder every time, government man. You're trying to play games staring at me, government man. You ain't got no legal right, government man. And another thing satellite controllers do, they try to make up something and then they try to make it look like something.